right, guys, something you don't hear from me often. 2 great budget knives, less chance to cut yourself. What in the world? And I actually love both of these great budget options from Orion Knives. We have the Aries, and from QSP, we have the Ripley. Let's jump in and show these guys right away. There is the Orion Aries, and here is the QSP Ripley. Now, you guys know a lot of times I am a frame lock and liner lock guy. A lot of you guys are always like, oh, I love bar locks because they get my hand out of the way. I love button locks because they get my hand out of the way. Well, I usually say, well, I don't like them because they have a mushy feeling deployment because they don't have a detent. Well, these are for you because these are great options that have great deployment, great feel, great sturdy locks, under $100. And guys, I actually love the deployment on both of these. So just let's jump in. Wow, can't talk, with the Orion Knives Aries, guys. This is designed by David from Blade Banter. If you don't know about his channel, this is an American Tanto. These are made by a company called Sikio in China, the same company that made the Aurora truffles. And this is a pivot button wedge lock. And guys, it has, if you look in here, you have basically what amounts to a liner in the middle there, and it has a detent ball. So your hand never has to be in the way of the blade. Okay, we have good deployment. Your hand is never in the way of the blade. You get to keep your hands back here out of the way, and it has a detent. So yes, please. Now I will tell you, and I found out it was because there was a little bit of oil on the lockup. It had some button stick, but that is absolutely gone. I have done it enough now. It is gone, and it is not a problem. We have a fuller for deployment, or again, you have the button if you like doing that. It's not my favorite way to deploy a knife. Can I thumb open it? Yep, I can. Again, hollow ground here, flat ground near the tip, compound with a Tanto tip. These are in 14C 28N and G10, and you have a rugged textured G10, kind of a really cool pattern. Flat scales with a heavy chamfer, reversible clip with the slots there. Very cool. I almost feel like you could use a wire clip, but I don't know that for sure. Blackout on this one. Really cool. Now, grip-wise, you get a 4-finger grip back here. You have a titanium milled clip, by the way, I should say. Quite a bit sticking out of your pocket, but it works fine. Good in and out of the pocket. No issues there whatsoever. Now, usually I don't like this extra little hump at the top of a handle, but I have no problem with this. I get right up here on the spine. No jimping. Don't need it. Really, really cool design from David. Now, let's just do a little cutting. Yeah, definitely good, clean cuts. You can see nice long blade, no issues. You do have that secondary tip if you want that. And again, that nice strong tip at the tip there. You can see we are narrow at the end, but not super narrow. Again, plenty of pad room here for your thumb. Really, really cool. Now, when we are locked up, yeah, well, okay, there is a tiny, the most microscopic amount of up and down blade play. It is barely there. There is no side to side whatsoever. And we are locked up. I would say it is so hard to see with black liners, black everything, but we are locked up, I would say, at about a 25 there. We are dead center here. Really, really nicely done. Now let's talk about specs on this one, and then we will jump into the Ripley and do all of our comparisons at the end. It is an American Tanto 14C 28N G10 handle. And he says it's contoured. It does look flat to me, but you have the heavy chamfers, so I would call that contoured, sure. Pivot button, obviously. They call it pivot button actuated wedge lock for smooth and controlled deployment. 3.58 inches on the blade, 4.73 closed The open length is 8.25. So overall, handle, the width at the clip is 0.65. So the width here at the clip. So it's going to be, I'm surprised they used that, 4.4 ounces. It does say comparable with the Spider Para 3 lightweight clip. So you can use if you'd like, you could use a wire clip on this. And again, made by Sakio. So the width here without the clip is 0.48. And again, at the clip, 0.64. And your blade thickness, we didn't really get that either, I don't think, is 0.12. There goes my battery. But really cool indeed. Great deployment, guys. I'm not kidding. This is with that, you get a really nice detent, really good. You can see free on those bearings. Really nicely done in that regard. All right, put that one off to the side. Put this one up here. Now, it's a bar lock, Casey. You hate those. Yeah, I kind of do. This is the glide lock, though, and I've had other glide locks in the Volt. And now this, and I'm telling you, whatever QSP is doing, they absolutely own the bar lock. This is golden. Look at that deployment, guys. There is no failing this. There is no issues with this. This is unbelievably good. Now, you do get that nice free flow on the wow bearings, Casey. You can see the spring is pretty tight. Now, again, you can defeat that, of course, in your fidget if you're any good, which I'm not. Here we go. But really, really nicely done. Now, you just have barrel spacers back here. You do have, are those full liners or partial liners, which is great. They only come to here. G10 the rest of the way. I would definitely call this one contour because you have heavy chamfers, flat right here in the middle. Beautiful milling there, as you can see. Black hardware, reversible clip, and in this case we have a steel clip that is super deep carry, nothing sticking out. Beautiful, well done indeed. You have a full flat ground blade with this beautiful drop point shape. By the way, I forgot to show that on the Aries. You do have a very nice sharpening choil here and here as well. No issues with sharpening on either one of these knives. Beautiful blade shape indeed. Now let's cut with this one a little bit. Oh yeah. I mean, this, to me, this is a work knife of all work knives. This is sturdy. It is good. No lock rocker blade play. We are locked up very solid. We are dead center all the way out to the tip. Great 4-finger grip. You do have jimping, but for me, you can come out here too. Your thumb studs are well out of the cutting path. Again, great action. Really nicely done. I love this. This is how you do a bar lock. Somebody else figure that out, and then I'll stop being so grumpy about bar locks. This is in 14C28N. And again, done by QSP, of course. Now, let's jump over here to QSP. Now, I said the Aries is $89. This guy is $75. G10 and 14C, same materials, but again, a more normal lock as opposed to this one. Plus, you got to remember with Orion knives, QSP is selling the Ripley directly. David is having these made for Orion knives, and then he's selling them, so he's got to mark it up. So it's going to be a little bit different. This is an 8-inch blade, 8-inch overall knife, 3.5-inch blade with a 4.5-inch handle, 3.6 ounces. It's designed by Keanu Alfaro. You guys know I'm digging his stuff a lot. Tip-up carry left and right. And they do not seem to give us an HRC. I was hoping for that, but no, they don't. But it's very nicely done. Again, $75 on this one and $89 on this one, and 2 options for those of you that love to get your hand out of the way. But these are better than the ones you're thinking of because you get a real feel of a detent. In this case, you have a detent. In this case, it's tuned so well, you get basically a detent. These are both going to be bigger than the Ontario Rat 1. And the Rat 2, and the Rat 1 is going to be about the same size as the Aries and a little bit bigger than the Ripley. So what do you guys think of these 2 very budget-friendly options from Orion Knives and QSP? I would love to hear down below. Again, a chance for those of you that say you hate liner locks, you hate frame locks, I want my hand out of the blade path, out of the cutting path. These are your knives, okay? Just 100%. So very, very nicely done by Orion and QSP. So guys, let me know what you think down below with a comment. Give me a thumbs up. And of course, if you're not subscribed, do that thing where you hit the subscribe button and hit that notification bell to all super exciting budget knives. Thanks for watching the Knives Fast channel.